So last March, some friends of mine and I decided we were going to travel to San Sebastian, Spain. That's in the Basque Country. That's up in the north of the country, about 5 hours train from Madrid. So our trip didn't get off to the best start. We decided it would be a wise idea to attend an Atlanta United match the same night our flight left. So we almost missed our flight. But we got to Spain okay. We took the train up to the north of the country. We arrived at San Sebastian. The second we stepped off the train, you could smell the ocean. So for me, I knew that the seafood was going to be the top and the king cuisine there. So the first thing you need to know about Basque cuisine is they're famous for one thing, pinchos. That's Basque for tapas. The region is known to have fresh, mouth-wateringly delicious, and cheap tapas at over 250 bars in the old town of San Sebastian. So the first restaurant we stumbled into, I can't remember the name of. The menu is written only in Basque. So for me, I knew the food was going to be fantastic. Now the restaurant specialized in sandwich-based pinchos. So the first thing that I possibly could have eaten in San Sebastian was tuna on toast with a perfectly cooked egg as well. It was the most delicious thing I have ever tried to date. I can promise you that. But that was just step one. That was just the first restaurant. So as I mentioned earlier, San Sebastian has over 250 pincho bars in their old town. They're famous for their bar crawls, but they involve food. Now sure, you can load up on chacoli, the local white wine, and get a nice buzz going. But for us, the day was only about food. After our first restaurant, we stumbled into another one, where seafood was king. We had a freshly caught piece of hake, which for me was the greatest piece of fish that I have ever tried in my life. Now the reason I say that Basque cuisine has ruined food for me is because when we got back to America after that trip, or anywhere else in the world, there was no food that I could possibly find that could compare to the freshness and the deliciousness of what I tried in Spain. But there was so much more to that trip than just the food. San Sebastian is on the coast, as I mentioned earlier, and I love going for swims. So on a perfectly sunny day, after I was already in a food coma-like state from lunch, I jumped in the ocean. Now mind you, the water was about 55 degrees. So for most people, that's too cold to jump in. But myself and the elderly community of San Sebastian, we weren't taking no for an answer that day. It was 60 degrees outside, there wasn't a cloud in the sky, and I knew that I had to take a swim that day. So we strolled around that little clam-shaped cove that San Sebastian is famous for, and we jumped in. One ice bath later, I was as satisfied as I ever could be.